What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Deluxe, and today we are back with the podcast after a couple of weeks of a little hiatus. And there's a lot of things that kind of went into that. I'm not going to get into that today, but I'm glad that we are back. And remember, if you do love the podcast, let us know and leave your support whenever you feel needed. But anyways, we have a good lineup for you today. We have D20,
Average.
Joel, Nobody Epic. We have Shadow, Hatto,
Joel and Nobody Epic. Whoa,
yeah, got both of them. And we have our friend that was gone for a long time, so we're gonna say special guest, Sidearms for a Reason. How you doing, buddy?
Okay, what's up, man?
Yeah, he is back again, ladies
guest.
and gentlemen. It's kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal, guys. Sorry to tell you that. But today we are gonna start off with a topic that we have had argued about, and we've talked a little bit about it on stream, but really haven't went in depth about it. So I'm going to get your opinions, guys, on this first topic, and that is, do you leave your car on when you fill up for gas? And I'll tell you a little backstory here on what kind of brought this up. So Sidearms, as some of you know, came to my house, and he visited D20 and I. And I had to, fill up on gas. So what did I do? I said, Sidearms, would you like anything inside? And he said, nah, man, nah. So he stays in the car. I park the car. I leave it on because it's hot as balls outside. It's 90 plus degrees. And if I turned off the car, this man over here in my passenger seat would have been freaking sweating balls, okay? So I go, nah, man, nah. So I leave the car on. Keep the tunes on, and I start filling up for gas. I pop my head back in after I start the gas and stuff, put my credit card in. He goes, what are you doing? I said, what do you mean, what am I doing? He goes, what are you doing? The car's still on. Are you crazy, man? I said, what do you mean, am I crazy, man? He's like, you're dangerous, man. You're dangerous. You're living life on the edge. And I'm like, that's how I live my life. But I was like, I don't understand. What's the problem? And he's like, have you not seen the signs or the placards on the pumps? And I'm like, yeah, but that's like a myth. That's a legend. Like no one does that, right? And so I fill up. I actually get back in the car and talk to him a little bit. And he, I have my door kind of open though, but he was like, "You're nutty."
He entered the vehicle like twice, I think.
Yeah, he's
during the whole which is the worst
he's
part
like,
of
you're
it
nutty.
all.
Causing friction.
Friction.
Building
static.
Electricity.
yeah, of course.
Because he doesn't want to have leather interior.
Exactly. Superior leather interior. But I get through pumping, and I put it up, and I'm like, see, man, nothing happened. There's nothing wrong. And everything was good, and we drove off. And he was like flipping out. He started texting everybody, like, oh my God, did you know what D4 just did? He just almost killed me. I almost died. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You almost died. You're a little far-fetched from there. But I want to know what you guys think about the whole thing in the first place. And people down in the comments, please let me know. Do you keep your car on while you fill it up, or your parents do? And if you do or don't, tell us the reason why or why not.
Here's what I was thinking. I was like, damn, this is how it ends. I was like, rest in peace, the lady next to us in the gas pump. You were not on.
Yeah, were you looking
danger.
at all the other victims of the? You're like, wow, she looks like she has a family.
Yeah, it's like, wow,
That's
look
sad.
at that
They haven't seen
nice
her
lady
name.
over there. Probably a mom. Probably
Probably mom.
Oh my God.
And
What
but
about
you're
your
not
family?
supposed to leave it on. I've legit never had anyone leave it on while at least I've been filling up, or like. No one in
And
my
I
family or
agreed
anyone.
with Side that I thought this was crazy, but not a lot of other people thought it was crazy. Like
That's crazy,
I
yeah.
felt like
we were in the minority.
now I
though.
feel like Side and I are crazy. Yeah, because
Yeah.
everyone else is like, is it that big of a deal? And I don't know if we're just friends with a bunch of hard asses.
Okay,
I mean-
so out of our friends, we were like that. Go ahead, Shadow.
Now, I admit, like, I turn my car off when I go to fill it for gas, but that's because I'm going inside anyway, and I don't want to, like, leave my car running so somebody can fucking steal it.
Yeah.
So, I just, like, I park
Dangerous
it at
area.
the pump. I park it at the pump. I fucking just lock the car, turn it off, and then go do my shit. And then, so, like, the car is just off while I'm filling it up anyway. But I've never really thought about, like, oh, it's dangerous, like, oh, you can't leave the car on or I'm gonna die. And we actually looked it up, and it is no more dangerous to leave the car on than it is to have it off.
That's not true.
Like,
It is.
y-
It doesn't even make
The
sense
fucking-
saying
We've
that.
looked it up.
We looked it up.
Though.
No, let's think
No,
about
the
it.
chance of it
Please.
exploding when the car is off is the exact same as the chance of exploding when the car
There's
is
no
on.
Yes.
way.
Yes. How?
No, there's
Because-
not.
No,
The engine's
car-
working
that is
running.
not. We, I
car
like how you
being
sounded
on
like we
makes
had
no
some
difference.
scientific conclusion together, and we're like, yes,
The
we all
car-
agree, guys.
The car
It is
being on
equally
has
as safe.
absolutely nothing
Thank
to
you,
do
Shadow.
with the gas. Like,
Thank you. Gas is there either way. Doesn't matter. If the car is on, doesn't matter. There's
you're
more
worried.
friction.
You're worried about like static electricity or some shit happening, right? That has nothing to do with the car
I
being
I
on.
didn't like that you
I
talked
agree
for me.
too.
I didn't necessarily agree with that conclusion. I
Go
didn't
ahead.
come in.
What
I
is
didn't
your
agree with it.
conclusion then? If it's on, what is the main worry there? Go ahead.
Okay, so the pumps are working, all this electronical shit. I'm no fucking engineer. How the fuck am I supposed to
Oh,
know
so
this?
you don't have a say on either
Now,
side.
it's just-
The
it's-
pumps are working, the engine's running, fucking direct fuel injection. You guys ever heard
it's
of
not
it? Where's
something
the
that you've
fuel?
ever
What?
actually, looked
Research?
into or something. You're
No,
just like,
why would
I
Sounds
feel
like a
like
myth.
this is how it is.
Myth
So,
busted.
Well, why do you think they put the signs up? They're like, oh, this would be a good
Because
suggestion.
Cover
I
their
really
ass.
like the sound of
Jackasses.
the cars being on.
They also
Insurance.
say
They have to
don't
spend
text while
money
the
on those
car's going
signs. They're
off.
not like paper signs.
Insurance.
Like they put them up for a reason.
Insurance. That's why they put them up.
Yeah, they're covering their ass.
It might have
Insurance
happened
from
one
a
In case
time.
somebody's standing there
Why?
smoking a
Insurance
cigarette
from the dumbasses
and
that
rubbing
leave
their
car on.
rubbing their feet around a piece of carpet while they're filling up gas, and then they blow up, and they're like,
And touching
"Oh,
a
he-
balloon
He fucking died
on
because
their
his
hair."
car was running."
Oh, shit.
SMH, dude.
I'm
pretty
This
sure-
is the craziest
What is-
shit I've seen.
What
They
is?
take it into consideration that, hey, we're designing this car. Maybe we should design it in such a way that, the gas is kind of away from everything that could set it on fire when it's on. If you're not worried about your car blowing up while it's running, you should have no worry that it's going to blow up while you're putting gas in it.
I agree. I think there's a better chance of someone running off the road, hitting the gas station, and sparking your car, and then catching everything on fire than you with static electricity touching the gasoline directly
But-
to ignite it. I have no
But
clue
the
what hell's going
the
on.
point isn't that there's a better chance. The point is that there is a chance at all. Like
Yeah.
There's a chance
It's
for a
the
lot of
same
things.
exact chance.
Exactly.
If,
There's
so
no way.
if I'm flying in an airplane and someone leaves the airlock door open and we're all sitting on our seats, there's a chance that one of us may fall out the airplane. But if we see the airlock doors open, I mean, there's probably not a high chance we could just sit in our seats and not do it. But there's zero chance if the door's not open.
It's the
That
same
is-
exact chance.
That is a terrible.
Analogy.
I'm Team
Analogy
Jill.
is the
Thanks,
word you're looking for.
thanks for valuing other humans' lives.
No,
Instead of-
that is
instead of
terrible.
just your
the car being
convenience.
on and the car being off has absolutely
do.
nothing to do with the
I agree,
chances
Shadow.
of your car igniting.
Yes, sir.
That's like it has the same effect as if you just went food shopping and you have broccoli in your backseat or cauliflower in your backseat. Completely fucking irrelevant.
I agree.
The fucking airlock door, like if it's unlocked, like yeah, like that's it. Okay, like it has a chance of the door opening. So yeah, like obviously it would be more dangerous if it opened. Like some shit would happen if the door was
just
locked.
don't-
Yeah,
What website did you guys see it on that there's the same chance of you dying?
just
I
fucking
don't-
Google it.
I just don't think that. Like, I think that there has to be some obvious, like, a millionth place, one place somewhere in percentage or something like that, that it would be more likely to blow up. Because, I mean, it is going into an engine that is combustible. I mean, so there has to be some chance, but there's little to no chance. I mean, it's
yeah.
more
Or-
close to no chance than it is to some chance, I
I
would say.
agree.
Yeah,
I
do
it might
agree.
be.
I think you can't say there's absolutely no chance
Yeah,
because it
I-
is going into a combustible engine that's burning gas.
Yeah, it comes back to.
But it's your static
I'm not
electricity.
saying there's no chance. I'm saying that I'm saying that there has to be more of a chance when it's on than when it's off. I can't see. I guess I dropped out of YouTube to go to college, but I can't see how that is a thing.
I do agree with Shadow where it's like they plan for this stuff, like they made it, they engineered some way where it has way less of a chance or whatever. Like if someone does do this, then it's probably not going to happen, but still.
But you were acting like I was fucking crazy.
Yeah,
I would
'cause
too,
I've
dude. No
never
one
seen
does that
anyone do
around
it.
here.
Yeah, I've the South.
I was at the gas station today. All the cars were off. It was crazy.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, that's like if you see somebody like pumping gas, standing on their hands, using their foot to pump the gas. I mean, that's fucking crazy, but you don't think you're gonna fucking die immediately. I mean, it is. I mean, that guy could walk over and kick you in the face and kill you, but there's as good a chance of that happening as your car blowing up. So,
I mean, there's a small chance that you're going to be struck by lightning when you walk outside. Actually, no. I think there's a higher chance of you being struck by lightning than your car blowing up when you're filling it. When it's
What about
on.
even what about just starting a fire? Not
Well,
even
I mean,
blowing
okay,
up.
if you start a fire,
I've never started a fire with static
It's gonna
electricity.
blow up.
I'm just telling you.
But you don't have a gas at your fingertips.
But old man
Yeah,
D4
no.
has been filling
Okay.
his car while keeping it on for the last 80 years, and he's still
I'm
here,
still good.
so-
That's not a good
But
example.
you like
I'm interested to see the
overreacted.
comments.
That was the craziest thing. Is the side was over like
You're gonna
I've never
filter
seen.
Oh, are you
Maybe
You're
if
serious?
gonna
you're-
filter the comments too. You're
I'm not gonna filter
You're gonna
them. I never
blacklist
do.
like
I never
words like
podcast.
agree and Joel.
Yeah,
is
it's
smart.
all
Like,
inside.
So all-
Sidearms
all the
is right.
comments will be- Sidearms is right. He's gonna blacklist the entire sentence. Sidearms was right. You won't see that in the
I've
public
never
comments.
ever seen that before. That's why I was freaking out, and like I've never even thought about that. People
Maybe if
even
you're
do
like
that.
pumping the gas directly onto your engine or something,
poured it on your
Yeah,
car.
just pumping it everywhere.
Here's my
Lighting a
thing though.
match.
In the comments, I don't care if you think we're wrong or we're right, because I know Shadow, myself, and D20 are right. That's not the problem. I want to know: do you do it yourself? Do you have your car on, or your parents, or your grandparents, whoever? Do they keep their car on, or do they turn it off? I feel like majority, to be honest, is going to say that they turn it off. I will say that, but I will
And
say
why
that
do you think
I'm
they
not
turn it
crazy
off?
because I think it's just habit.
Reasons
I
like
think
I
it's a
said.
myth. I think it's a myth. It's like you don't walk under a ladder.
They
or
turn it
something
off
stupid.
because it's a myth.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, it is. Go ahead.
It's one of those things where, like, you know, ooh, don't go swimming after you eat until
Which makes no
like
difference.
you wait 30 minutes. Like,
Yep.
that's proven bullshit, but people are still gonna wait because it's just something that they're
Parents have
trained
kind
to
of
do.
passed it down. Yeah.
You know, you don't. I bet that you feel uncomfortable like having your eyes crossed for extended periods of time
get
because
stuck
even though
there.
you know they're not
Your
going to
face
stay
will
that
stick
way,
like that.
you're not going to do it.
But it causes you physical pain, so you don't do that. Like
Doesn't
the
cause you
physical pain that's going to
across
cause
your
to,
eyes.
for a long period of time. Oh, I
It's-
guess I have a disability. I don't know what to tell you guys. Sorry, guys. I'm learning a bunch of stuff today.
Alright, so on a credible source, Yahoo Answers,
Well, name drop.
Mrs. Jordan says, "Never leave your car on while pumping gas. Anyone who does this is stupid and uneducated. As
Oh,
a
well,
professional in the safety industry for 23 years, this is very dangerous and life-threatening. Also, make sure you always touch the outside of your car before touching the gas pump to release any static. Static will cause a fire.
Yeah,
I
I'm
have a
shaking
video on
my
people
effing
who have
head.
burned to death because of this. Let me know if you need any of that
I'm
information."
shaking my head right now.
Burned
yes.
to death because
Burned
of
to death
static
because of
or
static
burned to death
electricity,
because-
not because their car was on.
Maybe they're catching caught on fire. One side to disprove everything.
Yeah.
She went to Yahoo Answers for
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
That's the biggest one. Number
You
two,
couldn't
Yahoo
tell-
is going
I'm a
out of
professional.
business.
You
It's-
can tell
it's
us
a bankrupt company. Okay, so good luck with that. And three, she just said some crazy ass shit like someone burned to death. I have video of it. Oh my god. Okay.
I'm
please.
also fairly certain that I could be wrong about this because I was never,
A doctor.
like I never grew up around this, but I'm fairly certain
Because,
that like gas stations that aren't self-serve, I can't imagine they turn their car off while somebody fills up their gas. Like I'm pretty sure they
I've
just
never
sit
been
there.
to not a self-serve gas station because I don't live. What is it in 2 states, Maryland and Pennsylvania?
New Jersey.
in
New
Kosovo,
Jersey and Maryland.
they fill up the gas for you, and they always turn off their cars. So even
That's what we're talking
even
about.
third world countries, guys, they know.
Wow.
not
Yeah,
to-
because they don't want to waste,
they
waste
know
gas.
not to-
Now, does it waste gas?
They're
Yes.
worried about blowing up in a car outside. Yeah, I'm sure that's the last of their
It's because
worries.
they
That's
don't
what
want
they
people
live for.
knowing they have working cars. It makes them a target for burglary.
Even
Their
the
whole
third world
purpose in
country,
life
they
is to
know.
blow up in a car. So if they turn theirs off, then obviously they're not going to blow up.
Don't
Savage.
do this. Don't turn off your car.
No, here's my thing also. Like I remember my parents saying this. Like which makes 110% sense was, and this is one of the kids said like, hey, you should turn off your car because you're wasting gas. That was the whole thing behind that. Not like you're gonna fucking blow up. That was the whole premise behind it. Not that you're going to like die. It was, hey, turn your car off. You're wasting your gas. You're pumping that gas. It might be 5 cents. It might be 10 cents. But that car is running, and you are, you're sitting idle. So I mean, yeah, you're wasting gas.
Someone said that it's illegal in the UK, and their source is their 30 years as a cop. But it's also on Yahoo Answers. So
Sounds like a
that's,
good
you know,
source.
Yeah, that's a.
Have you found the other side of the coin?
Oh, I've been looking for stuff to support my side.
Of course
So,
you have.
There's a ton of stuff here saying
That's how
the
you do
risk is
research.
relatively insignificant. Talking on your phone won't set it off. Running your car won't start
So
it.
you're-
Talking on your phone, they
Is your
added that
Google
too.
search,
Jesus fucking
why
Christ.
is leaving your car on dangerous when
Bad.
filling up?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and it's however it doesn't mean that you're adding fumes to the station. I suppose that would be some concern. Apparently, people missed the point that an internal
Adding
combustion
fumes to the
engine,
station?
which means I don't know what the fuck this guy's saying. He has a skull as his picture, so
You're
I don't know.
adding fumes
this-
when you drive in.
yeah.
Like,
This guy has a skull as a profile picture. Okay.
Okay,
So let's
seems like a
take
good
this.
source. Let's see what he says.
Which means the spark, fire, explosion, etc. are all inside the engine. There is no way for it to randomly travel through the fuel lines in your car and cause any other fire. If that was the case, it would happen whether you were fueling or not. So I guess this
that's
one.
exactly what I fucking said.
But what I'm saying is, this guy has a skull for his picture, and he's telling me this. So obviously, he must be wrong.
No, he lives life on the edge.
Obviously,
That's
he
it.
disagrees with what I say, so obviously he must be
Yeah,
wrong.
no,
Obviously, skull's a picture. Not.
yeah.
Not a good
If you have a skull on cross, or he just has some kind of cartoon skull as his fucking profile picture.
Although I will say, D4, in Side's defense, this is the guy who screams like he's about to die when he sees a ladybug in his house.
I agree.
So his overreaction to you having your car on, I don't think means all that much since he overreacts to everything.
Stuff could go wrong, guys.
No,
For-
this is the
for how
same
easy
guy.
it is just to turn it off.
Oh, the wind's blowing and I see that tree moving. It might fall on me.
No, listen. Last time this guy was over my house, Shadow.
Yeah, tell him about the
Yeah,
chainsaw.
I'm going to. Okay, so
Yeah.
he was over here at 4th of July, and there were 4-wheelers / ATVs / whatever you want to call them. Outside, I live in like a property has kind of fields, but things kind of echo off of my house because it's out in the field. Anyways, there was like, I swear, like 10 acres away, there was people riding their ATVs, and I'll be honest, it did sound a little bit like chainsaws, but not. I've heard of chainsaw before. He, I guess, never has. Like, and they never went off. And he thought there were people outside of his window, like directly outside of his window, trying to get him
they
with
sound like they were
chainsaws.
right next to it. Yeah. Vroom, 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 vroom,
Yes,
vroom, 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 vroom.
And he already
They're
had
trying
a
to get
plan
you.
to come upstairs, go to my secret room, barricade himself.
No. You forgot one critical part. I was in the wake up, you run out, get you.
Oh,
and
you're
then
gonna
go-
get me.
You save my friend's
Yeah,
life.
save you. You missed the crucial part.
But yeah, he's scared of everything. So I when he flipped out about this whole gas thing, I was like, it's just another day.
For the-
I didn't know it was going to turn into
Another
such
day
a
in
big deal.
Saturn.
Joel came in and was like, "Are you serious? You almost died."
Joel,
You
Joel,
almost died, son. Are you okay?
Joel, thanks for being the only one who values my life.
Also, the guy that wouldn't stay in a
I'm the most alpha
hotel
man in
near the
here, too.
airport because it was in Detroit and had to make his friend drive all the way to come get him.
Okay,
Because
okay.
people get murdered in hotel
it
rooms,
has
so
nothing
why
to
not
do with
him?
Sidearm's character, because the most alpha male in this entire podcast right now
Thank
agrees
you.
with him. So
The alpha male that has beta
Beta
as
as
his.
his emotes.
Emotes.
That's the game betas. Yeah, that's
Does
the
your
game
wife
betas.
know that you're saying you're alpha right now?
She
No,
beat
she's,
the-
my wife's with her boyfriend right
She
now.
can't
So
hear
I
you.
can say I can talk
Speaking of that, I got to keep it down. They might be bad.
Look at that, I gotta keep it down there.
Take it down a notch, guys.
rough loud sex, and I don't want to disturb them.
Joel, I think we're
I don't want
closer
Tyrone to
because
come
of
in
this.
here.
Joel,
Oh,
when you
shit.
come visit me, we're gonna take a tally of how many people leave their car on. It's gonna be 0.
You gonna
If
stay
no,
at the gas pumps?
No one does that shit.
Like a
yeah,
hobo?
We're gonna spend a whole day.
Okay, again, that doesn't mean anything because there's two arguments here. There's do you leave your car on,
Mhm.
which I mean I've said I don't, and then there's you leave it on or do you turn it off because you're afraid of blowing up the world, which I mean if you are then you probably wash your hands 30 times a day because germs.
That's
Right.
amazing.
As a counter argument, fuck you.
Well, shit.
Just for
Yeah,
the record, I'd
move
like
on,
to
move
say.
on from
So-
this.
so-
I want to see the count. I don't want to.
It'd
We're going
be
to talk about this for
different.
a whole podcast.
It'd be different if you were just endangering yourself, but I was in the car. You know, I have 1 million subs. I have a lot of people.
Yeah, before
I
next
I don't know if you know
Nice
this.
job, Deacon. Good job. Good job.
I said something before in the car. He's like, "Oh, I got 1 million subs, man. I can't do this." He's like, "Dude, I got more subs. You don't even have the most subs in this car."
I really did say that to him. I was like,
Right.
"You need to calm your ass. You got the most subs in this car."
I got 1 million subs and I'm sure if I died like 3 of them might be
At least
sad.
10 will be sad. Cool. At least.
They'll be just like everybody else that goes, "Are they
But
still
so
make videos?"
what are they supposed to put in the comments if they do, and why?
Yeah,
Just
so-
their thoughts. Just their thoughts on
Thoughts on the whole process, and then
The whole process.
it does the people they go to the gas station with, whether it's themselves or their parents or whatever. Do they leave the car on or off? I just want to see kind of a tally of it. Do they or do they not? And I figured there'll be more that say no, and then you're gonna get their comments like "fucking D4's a fucking idiot, Shadow. I knew his stupid ass and had something wrong with him."
I can't wait till we see
Special
people that are
snuffle.
like, "Oh my god, my grandpa died that way." Sounds stupid.
Wow, man,
As I laugh.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Rest in peace, rest in
Joel,
peace.
I think we just have a little bit. We care about people, unlike these guys.
Crazy concept.
All right, I'm gonna switch the subject just a little bit. We brought that last subject up in Joel's stream, and in this next subject I brought up in my stream, and it has a little bit to do with D20. So people were asking what sports that I played when I was in high school and stuff like that, and it kind of like snowballed. What did D20 do? And I was like, well, D20 did like jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, and I was like, and it brought me back to like a childhood memory. And you guys can say whatever you want to on this. It's just as me giving a story, and you can say whatever, but. I just remember when I was in school, I didn't necessarily like this thought of doing karate, jiu-jitsu, and all that stuff. Kind of turned me off just because this one kid when I was in 4th grade. His name was Mitch, and I'll relate to him.
Oh, name drop.
Yeah, Mitch, if you're out there. But he didn't go to our school. This was like a day camp during the summer. My parents went to work, and I needed somewhere to stay. We didn't really have a babysitter, so my school had like a day camp that you could go to until they got off work. So it was basically like extended school, kind of, but you didn't do school work. But anyways, Mitch was a homeschool kid, and he came in to our school during the summer because his parents or whatever were working. And basically, this kid was, I guess he was a little spoiled. Growing up, and he had everything he wanted, and I remember like trading baseball cards with him and stuff like that. Like he always had the best of the best stuff and stuff like that. But anyways, so one day he got in a fight with some kid, like an argument, and he said, "I take karate, right?" And the kid was like. It was like, so what? He didn't say this because we were in like 4th grade. He said, "I'll beat your ass" or whatever. He was like, so what? I still kick your butt or whatever. And the kid was like, well, my master or whatever doesn't want me to use this stuff in public. Yeah, my sensei doesn't want to use this in public.
Karate.
Yeah, he takes karate. So he's got to be like a white belt. I don't even know. And so I just remember thinking that I could whoop this kid's ass if we ever had to fight. Like karate ain't gonna save him. He's gonna try
Then
to
the kid went all
karate
Jack
chop.
Reacher and beat up like 5 of y'all.
Yeah, right. And I just remember I could jack this kid up. So I remember I was like, I don't need karate. I could literally jack this kid up. And so I just remember me thinking to myself back then. I thought cuss words were like the biggest no-no. Like I still don't cuss in front of my parents at all. And I remember thinking in my head, because I knew I wasn't going to sound loud, I was like, oh, Mitch, yeah, he's the bitch. I thought I was the coolest guy, because I was like, Mitch the bitch is his name. But I was like, I could fuck this kid up if you ever talk some shit to me. And I was like, anybody that uses karate, they're dumb. I could take out anybody that uses karate or whatever. It's because I guess karate was the bigger kind of martial arts in my area. I didn't really know a lot about jiu-jitsu. I know D20 does, but I didn't really know a lot about it. Now that I'm into like UFC and MMA and stuff like that, I know a lot more about it, and I think jiu-jitsu is the way to go if you're going to go mixed martial arts fighting. But for the most part, in the early days, I thought it was just funny that he had karate and he tried to brag about how he was going to beat up people, but his sensei wouldn't let him at the time. But
Self-control.
yeah,
Nice.
Self-control. Is that what they taught you, D20?
Oh, no, not me. I was a trained killer. But most kids. No, but like Taekwondo and karate, basically the same thing. But like they're more about teaching like self-control and like
Not
memorization.
masturbate
It's stuff that's
downstairs.
like good for kids, but it's not. You're not gonna learn to like kill 10 people or anything like that. Like
in
kids,
the movies.
yeah, like
Yeah.
kids think like, oh, I take karate, I can beat up anybody. But like if you've ever seen kids in karate class, they're not that very intense or anything. I mean, I don't know. Most of them, their parents stick them in there because they're like timid and want them to learn like, to speak out and
Balls
be a leader and just crap like that. which I think like karate, taekwondo, or whatever does more teaching that stuff. Of course, like I didn't get into martial arts till I was older, so it wasn't as much about like learning that crap. It was more about at that point it was more like a competitive level. Like I mean, they have competitions and stuff like karate, but they're more like you go out there and you do like your whatever they call them, their little routine things or whatever, and then you get judged by judges. Whereas like jujitsu, like in tournaments, like you try to make the other like submit the other person, or you score more points by like takedowns and reversals and submission attempts, stuff like that. So I mean, there is sparring and stuff in karate and taekwondo, but it's like a point system. Like if you hit them in the stomach, you get a point, or kick them in the head, you get a point, or whatever it is. So
Would you say that karate and taekwondo are like pay to win, though? Like to get the belts?
I think all of them are. I mean, they're pretty much. I mean, all of them are. Like it's like because you pay so much for like lessons. So I'm paying whatever a month to go to classes, and then every time I test for a belt, I have to pay for the next belt. So I don't even remember what the prices were, but I mean at the time I was living at home with my parents, so. And I was working for my dad, so like all my money that I made for my dad pretty much went towards jiu-jitsu or whatever stuff. So it didn't matter that much because I didn't have a lot of other payments and stuff I had to make. It's not like I was making like house payments or anything like that on top of it.
Right.
But of course I wasn't making that much money either because I was in college at the time as well, like just started college. But so I don't know, like all of them are definitely money-making schemes. Like in karate and taekwondo and stuff, like they have all these weapons stuff that you have to buy, and you know you buy your sparring gear, which that was a good thing with jiu-jitsu. Is pretty much like all you had was your gi, which is like your little outfit thing or whatever, like the pants, and the little jacket thing. Yeah.
Thought you keep laughing, he's gonna put your ass
Gi
out.
18.
You're gonna go sleep.
They called me gi 18 back in the day. How's that good? Yeah.
The dogger, who's that?
No, but that's. I mean, I was in it for like a couple years, I guess, and I was a couple belts away from black belt, and then I changed schools, and it was like a hour drive for me to drive back to where I took it. So I was like, I'm just gonna quit going or whatever. Which I mean, it's the same thing with, like D4 was saying with. Like the kid, that Mitch kid, like I could beat him up or whatever. Right. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. There's like this one kid in there that was like higher belt than me, but he's like a couple years younger than me, and I used to like beat the living shit out of him, like when we'd like spar against each other. So like the belt really means nothing. Like I could have, I mean, there's times when I would go against black belts and beat them or whatever. I mean, it's not like the black belt is just your time spent pretty much. Yeah. In the thing. I mean, you have to learn some stuff to test for your next belt, but it's not like you have to take on these 5 guys in an alleyway or something like that, you know? It's like you have to learn
the norm,
you know, these holds or these submissions or, you know, these whatever, reversal stuff or whatever. And then that was just kind of set up into like 3 or 4 sections, and each week I'd test for a section and you get another stripe on your belt. And then when you got all the stripes, you could test for the next belt. Or whatever. So I mean, it was kind of a time thing because it's not like, oh, I know everything for this belt. Can I go ahead and test for my next belt? Like that week, they're like, no, you have to, like, you can only test for like 1 stripe each week or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess it is kind of pay to win. But Jason. I mean, I was undefeated in tournaments, so that's good.
Pay to win right here.
Kind of big. I paid the most money, so they let me win.
How much did you?
How much you paid? But yeah, I just wanted to give a little background on just like a story that I had in like 4th grade, and then also D20 into the martial arts.
Tell Mitch, get at me.
If I ever see Mitch, I will possess. I remember he had blonde hair, glasses, and he was like maybe weighed 45 pounds. I don't know. I would have like elbowed him right through the fucking school wall. I don't even know. But I just remember Mitch being a bitch. But this next one is from Austin, and he asked, what was your first vehicle? How good or bad of drivers are you guys? And if you have any driver's ed stories.
Can we go to that topic in a second? I just want to bring something up.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's fine.
So that's what tell about when he was in karate. Go ahead.
No, yeah. So Joe, I don't know if you were here. I know Shadow was in D20 and D4. You guys were here, but remember when we talked about like Buffalo Wild Wings and like how
Yeah, that whole
you know,
podcast. We spent a whole
whole,
podcast on
The entire
the
podcast.
whole
about wings.
boneless wings are for pussies. They're like chicken.
No.
nuggets.
They are chicken nuggets. They are chicken
Like
nuggets.
chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
They are chicken nuggets. I
guess
agree.
what this deluxe guy got at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Can I give you my imitation of D4 Order and Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yeah.
Said?
Yeah, please.
Hi. I would like a.
No, turn
Okay,
Michael
what's
Jackson,
the
get
what?
fuck out.
Okay, can I have this ultra sweet barbecue? No, light on the sauce. I don't want to get stains. But boneless. Can I get 3 pieces boneless and
Just
a
3
leaf
pieces.
a leaf of lettuce, please? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Was it that?
Thank you for that.
For spot on. I think he must have said like Fella or something a few times. In
Fella?
Yeah, you
pretty
forgot
much
to tell her.
got it.
Other than that.
Guy.
I love you.
Okay, I will admit I did get boneless wings, but I will say they are nuggets and they're not really wings. I said that before we even ordered them. I said I'm going to order these side, and you can make fun of me all you want to, but they're
And he
nuggets.
did.
And he did. But I didn't get sweet barbecue. I got medium sauce on them. So I
Tell him
don't
how
know
much
anything
he was
about that.
missing out, son, by not getting the sweet barbecue for.
You sweet barbecue.
That's what your ass got. Your ass got sweet barbecue again
No,
after
he
we
didn't.
talked
He
about it.
didn't.
I got
He
mine.
didn't.
Kidding. He did. He get mine. But I did have buffalo chips with buffalo seasoning on them, which is a have to if you're going to get buffalo wings. D20 and I went the other day, and we had the same thing. It was great. Just basically, I did get boneless, aka nuggets. All right, side, but I got medium sauce. I'm a real man, not sweet barbecue like yourself. All right.
I mean, I get medium and mild too, but the whole thing was boneless was for pussies, and then yo ass. Yeah.
Let me go
Yo
ahead and
ass.
let me say
Yo
a line from Sidearms. Shut your ass up.
How about you shut your ass
ass
up?
up.
All right, what was Austin?
All right, so basically, he wanted to know what your first vehicle was. Are you a good or bad driver? And if you've had driver's ed, any stories from driver's ed? I'll go first. My first vehicle was a black Jeep. It was a standard. My dad has a mechanic background. He's a mechanic right now. He's a manager for like a trucking company now. He doesn't work on vehicles anymore. But he got me that because he wanted me to learn how to drive a standard first before I got my real car. So I had that Jeep, that black Jeep, for about with the plastic windows for about 4 weeks, and then we sold it, and ended up getting my first truck. It was a GMC truck, and I ended up back when we were in high school, D29. It was like during the Fast and Furious days, so people wanted to jack up and put some rims on it and all that stuff. So I put some rims on my truck. I had some 17-inch rims on my truck, painted it white. I put a bed liner in the back, like a cover,
Damn.
and I added one of those $500 radios that like played like little animations and
MP3s.
stuff. MP3s too, yeah. They went hard, and you could
You get
take
it at
off the
Best Buy?
cover. Yeah, I did. You could take off the cover or whatever, and take it with you, so no one would steal it and all that stuff.
And that
then,
faceplate game.
and then I had the Euro lights in the back.
Pioneer?
I was looking good. I think it was Pioneer actually.
Yeah, no,
I
I remember having that whole section, and I bet they don't have that anymore because they're like they don't even have CD players in new cars. They don't come with them. But I remember in Best Buy there used to be a section of like radios you could buy, like in-car dash
Yeah,
radios.
in-card, yeah. And so I thought I was the ish back then. But my first one was a Jeep. And then if I'm a good or a bad driver, I've gotten in one wreck when I was driving, and it was when it was raining. I was in high school. There was it was around a curve. I slammed on my brakes. That same truck skid and was going around the curve, and I barely tagged the bumper of a girl's car that went to school with me.
car
in front of me.
immediately exploded.
It exploded.
Because that's what cars do when they run into each other,
Just
just like
friction.
in
Now, I wonder what
movies,
your driver's ed teacher would say if he saw you leave the car.
He was one of my coaches, and he was one of the guys I looked up to like times 1,000. He actually died a couple years ago, was my driver's ed. And I just remember him always telling me, I don't know why, but when I was in driver's ed, he told me, cross the yellow,
Leave the
you're a
scene.
dead fellow. Stay close to the white, you'll be all
Red and
right.
black, friend of Jack, something like that.
You know what I'm saying? Though? Like if you go across the yellow, you're a dead fellow. If you go stay close to the white, you'll be all right. So I remember that. So remember that, ladies and gentlemen. If you're driving, those are the keys to the road. But I've gotten a few speeding tickets here and there, but nothing too crazy. I did one time. I was driving back from work. I was bartending and working at a restaurant serving tables, and I was driving back. I was kind of flying on the highway. It was a 3-lane highway, and there's one of those big. On the right side, they were doing they weren't doing construction, but it was like really thin. But on the left side, they had a big gap between the last lane and the wall. So he came up right behind me. I was in the fast lane, didn't see him. He flashed his blue lights, and I pulled over on the left side. So he gave me a ticket for speeding, and he also gave me what was, I think, reckless driving for not yielding to a emergency vehicle for parking on the left side. So I was like, are you serious? So I had to go to court for that, and when I went to court, I had to pay like a crazy fee, like $300-something, and then I had to do community service on top of that. I wasn't going to try to fight it until the judge something crazy, so I just took it, and I had to go do community service for like Goodwill, and I had to do like their filing system or whatever. It was nutty for like a week, and I was like, are you serious? I have to do this? But anyways, that's my driving stories, but nothing too crazy. Side, am I a good driver or a bad driver?
Yeah, I think you're a pretty good driver, man.
Thanks, man.
I think you guys all use your phones a lot more than I would imagine, but it's fun.
No, I agree.
Wow.
Go
Putting
ahead.
them in danger.
Anybody else? First vehicles, good or bad driver, and driver's ed stories.
I'll
First
go.
vehicle was no. You
No,
Alpha.
you will not.
Alpha, beta, cuck, okay, whatever.
Beta.
Fade it again.
my first car
Debated.
was Honda Accord,
Damn.
and it's still
Still clean.
the car that I'm driving. It's fucking
Rim's
18 years
still
old.
spinning.
Honda Accords, they go forever.
They do.
And I put it in Skype chat, but I have to make a decision soon on whether to put $1,500 worth of repairs into it so I can pass inspection or just buy a new car. Probably just
I didn't know it was 15 years old. Now, I would revise my. I think I said to get
18
something
years
new,
old.
but
It's a
or
2000.
18. Yeah, that's longer than any car should last.
I love it because it's got like the fucking
Get a new car.
Speedy and I call
It's
them
got that
like
old
the-
car smell.
Speedy and I call them the fox ears, the tail lights that like the Accords had for like I think like a year or two, and then they I'll like picture it, whatever. But it's such a I love the fucking car. Like I was with my dad when he bought it, and then when I got my license, he gave it to me because he himself got a new car, and like I've been driving forever, and I like don't want to get rid of it. But anyway,
The V6.
I couldn't tell you. I don't care.
Wow. Had it for 27 years.
Maybe V6, V16. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, that
nice.
sounds
The
about right.
big
Yeah,
EA.
that sounds right.
I don't have any driver's ed stories necessarily, but I do know that the driver's ed class that I took, the thing that kept me coming back was there was this really, really cute girl in there that I never talked to
was
because I
the
was
teacher.
a fucking bitch because I was like 16 years old. I mean, if it was nowadays, I would have walked up and be like, hey, I play video games all day and got 600,000 subscribers. Okay, bye.
Wait, come back.
Where are you going?
And what was the other thing? Am I a good driver? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a good fucking driver.
And do you remember anything from driver's ed?
The hot
I-
girl.
It was the attractive girl, and as far as I'm a good driver, and I think I've gotten pulled over twice. One time was when Peter was actually in the car with me. I was driving through his neighborhood, and it was 2:00 in the morning, and so like a cop was just driving, and I guess looking for somebody, to check, like, 2 a.m. is apparently shady driving times. So he
Probably
pulled
time
me
bars
over.
close.
Yeah, he pulled me over on some like bullshit. He's like, "Hey, you're getting close to the yellow line." I'm like, "All right, dude." Like, I mean, I wasn't that cool about it because it was my first time being pulled over, so I was like kind of nervous as fuck. But I was trying to enunciate all of my words properly. Like I was like trying to make sure like I'm not gonna slur any s's or anything like that. Just talking, and so he just let me go, and he's like, "Oh yeah, just make sure you not swerve so much." I'm like, "I wasn't swerving, but okay, whatever."
What was Speedy doing for you that made you swerve?
I mean, it's
It's confidential.
I'd rather not say.
I really had a great time tonight, Shadow.
And then there was another time where I ran a red light. I thought I had more time to get under the yellow, and the
Those yellow lights are never long enough.
yeah. Well, I mean, this had been one that I drove by like every day on my way to work. Like I thought I had it like nailed pretty well, but I guess not. And he pulled me over and he's just like, yeah, like actually like 3 people were in it and you were just the one I caught. I'm like, God damn it. And again, he gave me a warning. Just be a little bit more careful.
Damn, you got a warning for running a red light? Damn.
Yeah.
Savage.
I think it's because like I mean,
What were you doing for the cop to get off with a warning?
Oh, same thing Speedy was doing to me. That made me swerve.
Gotcha. ZJs.
And let's see. I got in one. I don't know if you can really call it an accident. It was snowing out, and I was driving, just chilling, driving in the snow like you're encouraged to do. And there was a jackass who, I guess, was going too fast, and somebody in his lane was making a left turn. So I mean, there was like a 3 or 4 car line, like waiting for him to, make it. And he was in the other lane from me, and he couldn't stop in time. So he slammed on his brakes, which is what they teach you in driver's ed, and he starts like sliding on the slippery road. But instead of swerving off the road, he decides to try to serpentine his way on the yellow line in the middle of the damn thing. And so I see this, and so like I dodge him, and I dodge like the cars in front of me who just slam on their brakes for some reason, and I just hit a guardrail. Didn't hit any cars. Got a little crack in the bumper. But yeah, besides that, flawless.
Flawless victory.
Even though Jehovah, we will say that I'm a crazy driver for driving in Boston.
Speaking of crazy drivers, why don't you go ahead and go, Joel?
I'm not crazy. Are you kidding?
We almost died riding with him, right, sir?
You kidding? Well, okay. So my first car was a Ford Escort, '93 Ford
Damn.
Escort.
That's what my brother had.
That's got to be the worst car out of everyone in here. I do not. It was my grandfather's car. God rest his soul. But so I got it when he was dead and stuff. And it had a cassette player in it, which I didn't have any cassettes at the time because it was the mid 2010s or whatever. No cassettes around to these parts. And I one time it just turned off in a left turn lane, which was really awkward for no reason. It turned back on, which made me happy, but drove that
power.
thing for
Must have shook it.
I lost
the
power.
tires.
I named it because I was kind of embarrassed. I went to like not a rich kid high school, but I went to like a middle class to upper middle class high school. So I had like one of the not so nice cars there. So I gave it like a name and a personality. I can't remember the name now, but I would like tell my friends its name and its personality. Its like thoughts today, like, oh yeah, old Tom's sad today, or something, or like I don't know, just to like make it not so embarrassing when I'm rolling up next to a BMW or something like that. And drivers, I don't really have any great driver's ed stories that I can think of. Although I was the editor of the school newspaper, and I did a nice write up of our driver's ed teacher he's been a teacher there for like 40 years or so. I think he's still teaching. I like did an interview with him. He showed me all the heart pills he takes I was like, how do you stay stress free? And he's like, oh, here. He took me to his medicine cabinet. He had like a full. Yeah, he's like, I take all these pills, and I like it's like 16 or I was like 17-year-old old, didn't really understand. And then looking back, that guy's got some problems. But he's great, really nice guy. I got to the front page of the paper because I make the editing decisions. But anyway, at car accidents or like bad driver. Well, I've been in some car accidents. I got a bunch of pussies in this channel. Were in the car with me when we were driving around East Lansing, and it's a college town with a bunch of people in it. And and I don't. Okay, now
So salty
you guys
over
want to get a little suck? Okay, well we'll go into a little territory that's a little inappropriate. Michigan State accepts a lot of foreign students. 20% of this, I would say, I don't know the exact number, but there are a lot of people here, mostly from China. And if you see a nice car, I guess this is right. This is kind of like racist in the way that it's like, oh, black people have big penises. Like, it's kind of a nice racist thing. like, oh, if you see a nice car, an Asian person's driving it, and he's Lansing. It's usually true. But so this one, this nice Asian gentleman in a tie-dye shirt was walking
Very bright colors.
across the street. Yeah, and if
Very
there's,
hard to
Thank goodness.
I don't want to stereotype too hard. I'm putting my YouTube career in flames by saying this publicly. No, they sometimes. I mean, students in general, but sometimes these foreign students will not pay attention as much, which makes sense because you're in a different country. Maybe you don't know the traffic. Like when I was in England, I didn't understand the cars were going like a different way than normal, so I was always looking the wrong way. So whatever. So he's like looking straight ahead and
In
he
a
has
crosswalk.
in a crosswalk, and he has the right
Where
of way.
pedestrians have the right of way.
Yeah, he has the right of way. But he actually, now that I'm speaking, I don't even remember what the scenario was. What was the
He was just trying to cross the road. The dude was trying to
I
cross
felt
the road.
strongly in the right. Like, what? Did you guys think I was going to hit him and I stopped right in front of him?
Okay,
Yes.
so yes.
We're like, Joel, there's a guy right there.
Joel,
No,
there's a
No,
guy
I
right
said
there.
I
matter
see
of
him.
fact.
I saw him.
Yeah,
you
you're
guys
like,
were
I
being-
saw
you
him
guys-
as he hit the hood of your car. Yeah.
Did he look at our car? Like,
Yeah, I
was he
can't
scared?
remember. Did he say something to us?
He just kind
No,
of.
no, you guys, no, it's you
No,
guys
just
were trying to
kinda
make a big deal.
startled and
Like
he
if
kept
we were,
going.
because you guys were trying to get content. You guys were trying to be like, you're like, oh my.
Well, you just
Joel
kept
almost
you
murdered
kept
someone.
going.
It
You
was
made him get
like
made
Cy
him
was
move.
recording his first vlog, which he never posted, but it was going to be like, oh, that's my title. Joel almost murdered someone. No, it's
I
not
wasn't
really.
in your car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was just
Yeah, it was a lie. Yeah, okay. Well, so no, that's
I
like
think
not
you
even.
never-
I just
I don't
wasted a
think-
bunch of
no, no,
time
no.
on that story.
I think-
I'm saying it happens all the time. I've seen multiple people get hit with cars on campus. It's
that
not
make
me.
it okay?
Right, Joel.
I'm saying people don't pay attention. Like I say, pedestrians have the right way, but like use fucking common sense. Like I'm like the only car on the road, and he's like still walking out in front of me. He can't wait
How do you
for me
think
to
they
just drive
afford all
my
those
car
nice
by.
cars? They get hit by people like you and then sue them. And
Why,
then
why
buy
can't he just wait for me? Like, I don't know. Okay, that's like the worst example. I wasted so much time on the story. And then I've been in an actual car accident. Like the only, I bought one car in my life with my dad that was like a used car, and it was really bad. And then I took some of that GTA 5 video money and
Name drop.
scraped it together and with Megan, and we were gonna buy a nice GMC Terrain. Wasn't brand new. It was like a couple years old. I think. Oh, it was a 2013 Terrain. And
Bragger.
yeah, it was a nice car. Yeah, it's the first car I've ever like bought in my life by myself, big boy style. I got a great deal on it too because I bought it on like December, like one of the last days of December. So like the people at the car, the guy I was talking to was they always try to offload their inventory at the end of the month, so the cars they'll sell them for cheaper. And December, so trying to get those Q4 numbers. Anyway, I had it for 3 months, and then we were driving along the highway. And it was a really rainy day, and there's this really bad section of this highway we drive around all the time in Lansing. There's a lot of accidents there. There's actually a lot of safety barrels there, which are just like barrels filled with water that people can go into so they don't go off the ramp and die because it's on an on ramp, or not an on ramp. It's on like a transitional ramp in the highway. So it's raining. The person, like some chain reaction happens. The person slams their brakes in front of the person that slams the brakes in front of whatever. So I slam on my brakes, and because we were in like a line of cars that were pretty close together, and I like get up against this cement wall. I don't hit it. We don't hit anything in the car. But like, so, because we were all close together, but there was this truck that was a little more behind me, like wasn't as close together as all the cars in front. And this like woman clearly wasn't like paying as close of attention, or her brakes were not good, because she just like straight up completely slammed into the back of our car. Her truck did like a flip, and the back of our car was completely destroyed. If we were in the other car I was driving at the time was a Malibu. If we were in the Malibu, we would have been seriously injured. But the Terrain, just like the entire back was destroyed, and Megan and I just had like little cuts and stuff and little bruises from the whiplash. We didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. But and then I was kind of like offended during the crash because like people were like people come up to our car and they were like running by our car, and then like one of the people that ran by, they're like, "Get out of your vehicle! They just look at that. We got to help this woman." It's like, bitch, I was in the car accident too. What do you? This is too. This takes two to tango, bitch. And she hit me. But so I was like, and then I like got offended. I didn't say that, but I was like thinking that. Now I still think about it. It's like, I'm like, bitch, I got in a car accident too. But she was she was okay. She also did not have to go to the hospital from what I heard, but. I'm pretty sure the accident turned out to be no fault. I think that's a law in Michigan, where it's no one's fault, even though it's her fault. And I got money back from insurance for our vehicle, like more than my down payment. So I guess, but then at that time I needed to pay my tax bill for the next year, so I haven't really been able to get a car since. At least the car like that was nice. So that bummed me out. Nothing else major in terms of car accidents. I've gotten speeding tickets before. I think I've gotten a couple. I think I got 2 speeding tickets, and one just this is like the dumbass challenge speeding ticket where you avoid avoid a stoplight. Cop asks you if you avoided the stoplight. You say yes, you get a ticket. It's one of the only. I'm sure it's a law in other states, but it's one of only two. I took it to court because the judge wrote down my license plate wrong, so I took it to court and to try to get thrown out because he wrote down the wrong license plate. And the judge took away my insurance penalty for trying. She said it was a good effort for taking me to court.
Good effort.
And she said, I just want you to know that this is a ticket. There's only 2 traffic violations that you can get by, I guess, essentially confessing, or I can't remember what the word is, by like agreeing with a cop or something. And I got one of the 2. So I got the dumbass test ticket because I could have just said no. I was just looking at my phone briefly, and then I got back on the road. But yeah, so I think 3 tickets in total.
Damn, son.
Damn, daddy.
Did you say yours, D20?
No. My first car, like actually, my grandpa helped me get it, and I sold my 4-wheeler that I had to help me pay for it, and it was a 94 S10 with the extended cab or whatever. So it was pretty cool, and it got me through. Like I got it when I was 15, I think, because I had a hardship to where I could drive to school. Because like D4 and I have said before, we had to go like, it was like 30 minutes to school where we went to high school and stuff. So I got a hardship so that I could drive to school and back and to work and stuff like that. So I got my truck, and then my senior year I ended up getting my Civic then. But like the truck, it had like a cassette player, but I was cool enough to get one of those cassette adapters that had the aux cord, so I could hook it up to my portable CD player, and that way I could listen to my jams, stuff like that on that. But yeah, then I had my Civic pretty much all through college and stuff till at the end of college, and then I got a 4Runner, and now I have a Yukon, so that's the only cars I've ever had or whatever. Wrecks. I wrecked my Civic twice. Both times were not my fault. And it wasn't like terrible wrecks, like it messed up the hood and stuff like that. The first time I ran into the back of this lady that just like came over and like locked up her brakes in front of me pretty much. And I think that on that one they said it was like no fault or something like that. Which meant that like at that time I only had like liability on my car because I was like, I don't know, like probably 17 or 18. And so I got some insurance, or I didn't get any insurance money to fix it, so I had to like pay out of pocket to fix it. But it wasn't really too bad. And then the second time that I wrecked it, there's like a turn lane. There's like a lane to go straight or to turn right, and then there was a turn lane, and then like the traffic coming the other way. And it was like right before a light. So there's this lady, or this, yeah, it was a lady trying to turn into the bank, which was on like the opposite, or the same side I was going, like to the right. If I'm coming up to the intersection, it's on the right, and she was trying to turn from the other lane coming across. And there are people like in the turn lane backed up past where the turn lane's supposed to end. So they're pretty much in the middle of the road. Anyway, they decided to wave her through and like tell her to go ahead and turn. And was going in the straight lane because our light was green, so I was just driving through there, and she turned into me and hit me. And I think it had just rained or something, so I like tried to stop, but I couldn't. I slid into her. But I wasn't really going that fast because I was coming up to a light, so I was already slowed down.
I was trying to drink my beer.
Yeah, had a beer in my yeah. I couldn't hardly see because I was so drunk. But and then the last wreck that I was in my Forerunner, and it was like it was just it hadn't even started snowing yet, but it was supposed to snow like that night, and so like I went to Walmart to get some stuff, and I was heading back home. There's like a big hill that goes up, and they have like these big like concrete like walls on the side of the road for, I guess, because there's a hill there. But anyway, so like I was coming up the hill, and when I got to the top of the hill, like everybody was stopped, already ran into each other because like the top of it, those walls had like shaded the road, and it already started icing over there. And
You
so,
rolled
like,
up on
I
a
came-
multi-car?
Yeah, so I came up over the hill, and there was a car. It was 2 lanes, but there was a car like right in my blind spot on the left side, so I couldn't swerve over into the other lane. So I tried to. There's like a sidewalk on the side, so I was gonna try to like hop the curb because it was a 4-wheel drive vehicle, so I was just gonna try to drive up on the sidewalk and avoid hitting the cars. So when I did that, though, like my front tire hit the or the sidewalk, like the curb. Front tire hit that, and it slid me sideways because like I was sliding at that point anyway, and so it slid me sideways, and like my back driver's side door like barely hit the lady's bumper. I mean, I pretty much avoided her, but then my front end hit that concrete wall, but I mean it barely hit that too. Like it broke the headlight on the passenger side, and so it wasn't really. Like, the main damage was in the back because, like, my back tire hit her car, and it, like, messed up the axle or whatever. But then I sold it, so I got a new car anyway. But that was the only wrecks that I'd been in. I don't think besides, like, my mom telling me a story of when she had a wreck when I was, like, 3 or 4 or something. Other than that, I don't ever remember being in any wrecks or anything like that in anybody else's vehicles. And then driver's ed, I never took driver's ed, so I don't know. I was like,
You ever
we
took
used
driver's
to.
ed? For real?
No, I never took it. My brother
Just for
did,
pussies.
but I mean,
I didn't either.
I would have been teaching the class, so it didn't matter. No, like when I was, I don't know, probably like 11, 12, stuff like that. My mom would let me drive, like before our road. Like if you come from the interstate, and you go like that back way to my parents' house.
Yeah.
Like my mom would always we'd switch right there at the end of the road, and she'd let me drive down our road and stuff.
You just gotta take like one left, right? And you're down there?
It's a little bit weavy, but it's not too bad. I mean, it's pretty much a straight shot. But when you're like 11 or 12, it's kind of a big deal. It's like, oh my god, I get to drive. And then like another dangerous thing my mom would do would be like if we're going down the interstate, like she'd let me steer, like from the passenger seat and stuff.
She lights a bowl up?
Yeah, she was asleep in the back. She set the cruise control. She's like, "You got this."
Yeah, just lean back.
back.
Just holler at me. Holler at me if we got a break.
And your brother's in the car seat. You're like, yeet.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know.
That's where you learned how to teriyaki drift. I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like, well, we're going 90. We got to take this turn.
I'm sorry.
Just pull the e-brake. But yeah, I never took driver's ed. But like I said, as soon as I was 14, I got my license, and then
You got a hardship then.
yeah. Well, I mean, I got my hardship when I was 15. I think you had to be 15 maybe
Okay.
to get like the actual hardship. But I had, just like your learner's permit or whatever.
Right.
I was 14, so I would drive a lot then. Then I was driving back and forth to school when I was 15 and stuff. And then, so by the time I was, my first year of college, it was like 3 hours away to college or whatever, and I'd drive back and forth all the time. So, by the time I was, in my 20s, I was already tired of driving. Everybody's like, you want to drive? I'm like, not really. So it's like I was already burnt out on driving. Everybody else is like, oh man, we're gonna go cruise around and drive. I'm like, we do something else?
Sad loves driving. That's all he does. He's like, I'm gonna go driving right now. I'll be back.
I was gonna bring that up whenever I was telling my point of view, but thanks for
Go ahead. Good transition.
Now he's got nothing.
Fucking that was my whole story. So you're gonna have to refresh me on some of the questions if I miss anything.
First car, if you're a good or bad driver, you skip any of this by the way. First car, good or bad driver, and driver's ed.
Okay, so I never had driver's ed. I don't think I'm pretty sure they didn't offer it at my school. But I learned it just like from family and stuff, and I remember like whatever in like an empty parking lot first, and then they fucking took me out on the live road like after driving twice in the parking lot. I was like, fuck man, this is good. Like they gave me a live test, and that's where I learned the most. I was like, okay, fuck, I'm about to die unless I do good stuff. I don't if I don't
do good
fuck up.
stuff. Yeah, that's what I was
But my first car was my dad's truck, 2000 something Toyota Tundra, and it's still a nice car. We still have it. But I mostly drive that because that's like the least, like that's like the kind of daily driver type of thing. Like, but then I bought my car in 2014, which I don't really want to say what it is. Hopefully that's okay with you guys.
It's a Lamborghini.
Lambo.
Bought straight cash.
Cash.
So
By liking this video, you
for
can get
Minecraft.
D4 his own.
yeah. Thanks, Minecraft.
Thanks, Minecraft.
But
GTA.
I remember I spent like 3 months trying to find like a good deal on that car and just like been looking around for it, and then we ended up driving like 5 hours to go get it, and then 5 hours back or whatever because it was such a great deal. It was so much under sticker, you guys wouldn't believe it.
You wouldn't believe
They
it.
fucking-
You wouldn't
It was
believe it.
you just like
Car's worth
end of
nearly
month,
half now.
End of I don't think so. Not even it probably lost a few thousand.
Few thousand.
Yeah,
Please.
I got an offer to buy my car. Joe Blow's dealership is like, we'll give you 120% of what the book value is. Like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but sorry, I don't want to sell.
Yeah,
You're like, I
it's
can't
there,
even-
but
you kidding me? I
yeah,
can't even read. I'm a unit.
Yeah, what does
Read
this say?
books.
What does this say?
What
What's
you
a
do to
boat?
do college?
But so I don't really drive much. I go out to drive for fun, and I know you guys make fun of me and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's just because I haven't driven like long enough for it to be like kind
that's it.
of like a pain or whatever. But I go driving for fun when it's nice. I don't really take out my car whenever like it's raining or whatever. Like if mom and I want to go eat and it's raining, I'll take the truck. And I haven't really been in any accidents. I remember one that I thought was an accident, but it turned out it not being. So I went to go
Turned out
pick
you
up
just
Pizza
had
Hut.
accident in your
No,
pants.
just listen. I went to Pizza Hut, and it's like in the parking lot of like a grocery store. Like they share a parking lot, and I have to pull out into like the road. But there's like a parking space right next to like where. You know where the speed bumps are by the grocery store, like at the very front river, and like that's how you get out to go towards the road. There's a lady who just got in her car, and I was parked like, I was going forward, she was at the side, or like she was parked, and she was backing up, and I don't know what the fuck she was doing. She was not looking. She was not looking behind her to see if there was a car there, and I watched her get closer and closer to me as she was like backing up, and I honked, and I thought I honked too late, and but the road in front of me was clear, so I just ran. So hit and run, and then I got home and I checked, and ended up not being any damage. I don't know if like she didn't hit me or whatever. I didn't hear any kind of like audible, noise or whatever. You feel me? So. It was just like it kind of blew my mind, like how someone just like backs out without looking at all. Like the car is it's a gray, so it's not like fucking like it didn't blend in with anything. Like you would know there's a car fucking behind you, but the lady still backed up. I don't know if she was doing her fucking makeup or what, but god damn it,
Women,
scared the shit out of me, lady. That's but I've been in accidents when I was younger and stuff. Like coming towards our house, like someone got in front of our dad or whatever, or our dad, my dad.
Yeah. We're all brothers.
Yeah. And that was like when I was 3, I think, and it was not my dad's fault, but it ended up like being his fault because we didn't really know how to speak English, and I couldn't like help him then. Like I didn't know English enough to. I hadn't watched enough Dora to be able to hook it up yet. So like I tried to explain to the officer instead of my dad, but he ended up leaving the fault on us just because I guess the other guy spoke English better or something. I guess he couldn't understand what we were saying well. Yeah. So that that kind of sucks. But I haven't like been in any kind of major accident. So that's fucking hopefully not. But yeah.
Nice. Not bad.
That's pretty good.
Hey, it's pretty good. But that is actually all the time we have for this week's podcast. I want to thank everybody for coming along this week. Again, D20, Joel, freaking Shadow Beats, and our special guest, Silence the Reason. And tell us again what you think about the whole, do you pump your gas while it's, running, or your car's running or not? I don't know.
Gonna blow.
And we'll see you guys in the near future. I'm not going to promise next week there's going to be a podcast, but I will say we're going to keep these things going. It might be, there might be a week in between, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. I'm not going to try to keep a schedule now that, summer is here and everything's crazy. But I will say that they will continue, and the more support you leave, the more I'm enticed to do them. I'll say that. So, anyways, I love you guys, and don't forget SoundCloud. It will be up when this thing is going live, and all the links for everybody will be down in the description. That's it. Peace out.